Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law.
Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
All rise. All parties raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
Thank you very much. You may all be seated. The matter of Harmony Burns versus Marshall Hatch. You're suing him for $985. The cost of medical bills, you say, after you tripped and broke your ankle, which he caused. The defendant says, nope, your heels were just too high and you fell. So let me hear from you, Ms. Burns.
Hi, Your Honor. So
Hello.
I'm suing my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, due to him making me fall at a restaurant and broke my ankle. Me and Marshall been dating for less than a year. I was running a business, a smoothie business at the time, and I was running it up for 2 years, but when COVID came, it kind of didn't go as planned. So I got left with all of these loans, up to $10,000 that I had to pay for. I did not have the money at the time, so what I did is went to go get a night job as an exotic dancer. Due to me getting the same job as night, I met Marshall, and I didn't let him know that I was a stripper the time we were dating until 2 to 3 months into our relationship.
Okay, you didn't meet him then at the club?
No.
Oh, okay. So during this time, you met the defendant and didn't tell him that you were an exotic dancer?
Right.
All right. Go on.
So our relationship kind of went downhill once he found out that I was stripping.
Well, when did you let him know and why?
2 to 3 months in our relationship.
How did you let him know?
I pulled him to the side and I told him that I need to talk to him because I've been hiding a big secret from him.
And why did you want to tell him then?
I felt like I just had to come clean.
Okay.
Because he didn't know what I was doing.
He didn't know where you were at night when you left?
Not at all.
Okay. So once you told him you were an exotic dancer, what did he say?
He really didn't have much to say. He kind of stormed off with an attitude, but afterwards, the next day and prior to that, because I spent a lot of time with him at home, it was just a lot of pettiness. It was like insecureness, and then it became to where if I didn't cook or I forgot to clean or I didn't do the laundry, it was always based on because I was shaking my butt for other men.
Okay, so it became a sore spot with you.
Yes, a very much complaint.
Okay, so now what happened? How did you break your ankle?
So that night that I broke my ankle was my best friend's birthday party. He agreed to go. I offered to pay. We went. It took us a while to get there because I had to drag him just to come because he feels like...
You offered to pay. Where'd you go to for a birthday party?
We went to Ella's restaurant.
Oh, you went to a restaurant?
Yes.
And it's her birthday party, but you had to pay?
Well, I did it because that's my friend.
Then what happened?
So we get to the restaurant, we're all at the table, we're talking, having fun, eating, and then the waiter comes and hands us the check when we're finished. Once I tip him, he goes and says, nobody wants your stripper money.
Oh. Did he offer to pay with his...
No, he did not.
Whatever kind of money you have?
No, he did not.
I have in the past.
Okay, but did you offer that night?
That night?
Yeah.
I didn't that night.
I think they want her stripper money, any other kind of money. All money's good money. It spends. It pays bills.
Yes, it does.
So then when he said that, what'd you do?
I felt embarrassed, and I just looked at him. I brushed it off. I then tipped the waiter, and then the waiter came back to pick up his tip, and I thanked him for his service, and he said, you're a
Wow.
in front of all my friends. And I felt like it was very disrespectful, and I didn't like it, and I felt very uncomfortable. So then I go to get up, and he grabs me very aggressively.
Okay.
I was trying to get away from him, and he was holding me very tight, and I freed myself, and I fell, but it wasn't due to my heels. I walk in heels every night. I have on heels right now. I could show you I could walk in heels.
These are the heels you had on that night?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And you have on something similar to that now?
If you can see, yeah. They're high. I can walk up and down. I can walk.
Oh, strut, honey. Strut your stuff.
She couldn't walk that night.
Yeah, because you pulled and grabbed on me.
All right, let me hear your side, Mr. Hatch, before I have to throw you out my courtroom because you're butting in.
Your Honor, man, everything was
I'm
good.
not a man, in this case you didn't look.
My error, my bad.
Okay.
Your Honor, everything was cool in the beginning when she had, you know, her smoothie business and she was independent, and I love independent women. And you know, but once she revealed that secret to me that she was secretly stripping and didn't let me know, then that's when, you know, things turned.
Why?
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I witnessed that tall, ugly-looking guy called this beautiful woman a and then he yanked her, and as she was trying to free herself, her ankle got broken.
And later,
I went up there, and in his driveway, there was a crate of vinyl, of albums. And as I'm thumbing through these albums, I couldn't believe what I saw.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Harmony Burns, who is suing Marshall Hatch for medical expenses.
I mean, because I believe that, you know, stripping leads to prostitution. You know, and I didn't want to see her go down that road.
Did you tell her that?
I told her that several times. I told her that, you know, and I told her I didn't want the mother of my child to be stripping, you know, and she's a very educated and beautiful woman, and she deserves better, you know. She can do better than that, you know.
What kind of work do you do?
I do private security, Your Honor.
Okay. So private security is not a lot of money.
It's not, but you know
When you met her, she owned the smoothie shop,
right,
and you were in private security.
right.
Smoothie shop closed up, right?
Right.
She got to get some money to pay these bills that you all have acquired. So, did you get a second job?
I didn't get no second job.
All right, she got another job that allowed her to make the money. You told her you didn't like it.
Right.
What was her response?
Well, her response was she didn't care because she wanted to, you know, she needed to pay her bills, you know. I understood that, but, you know, part of it was insecurity on my behalf too, you know, just because, you know, she in the
Because
strip.
other men looking at your woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
So you didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
But did you embarrass her and disrespect her in the presence of other people at a birthday party with all other folks around at the dinner party? You thought that was nice?
Yes, it was appropriate for the time.
Why?
I caught her and this waiter guy over here, eyeball sexing, and then she lowered her eyes below his waistline in front of me. And so that caused me to call her a
Okay.
So she jumped up and started to leave. I went to hold her and just to hold her down.
To keep her from leaving.
Keep her from leaving. And she was yanking away, and, you know. She slipped and fell on a substance or some water or something on the floor, or them 10-inch heels that she got on.
7-inch,
What
not
was the
10,
substance of
7.
water on the floor?
It was some type of substance like.
How you know? Why do you fall then?
I didn't fall because I got on flat shoes. She got on 10-inch shoes.
So if she fell because of substance of water on the floor at that moment when she fell, when she got up, did you bring it to anybody's attention and say, look, you got something on this floor caused my lady to fall?
No.
Let me hear from you. What's your name, sir? Mr. Kanyike.
Yes, Your
Is
Honor.
it Kanyike?
Yeah, it's Kanyike. Peter.
Kanyike. Tell me what you have. What's your role in this?
So I'm the witness to Mrs. Burns in this case.
You were the waiter?
Yeah, I was the waiter.
All right,
that
tell
night.
me from your version what happened.
So, Your Honor, I witnessed everything that happened that night, and I witnessed that tall, ugly-looking guy called this beautiful woman a
Okay.
and then he yanked her, and as she was trying to free herself, the lady twisted, and her ankle got broken that
And
night.
she broke her ankle. Was anything on the floor?
There was nothing on the floor, Your Honor.
Did anybody complain about water or anything being on the floor?
No one complained about
Did
it.
she get up and walk away?
She couldn't walk. Actually, we called paramedics that night, and her friend helped her go home that night.
Your Honor, he was eyeball sexing my ex.
How would you know that? Like, what is eyeballing?
I watch y'all
Because I said
have
thank you.
eyeball sex
Because I
in
said
front
thank
of me.
you. It's to have manners. You say thank you to somebody who's giving you service.
You was flirting in front of me, and that's the reason why I
You're
called
insecure.
you.
You're insecure.
Period.
You're insecure.
Okay, let's assume and let's take your version that she was flirting. So if she's flirting, that made you even madder because you thought she was flirting.
Right.
So you grabbed her even harder because you thought she was flirting.
No, I grabbed her because she was fleeing.
Yeah, because you was pissed.
No, I was. Where you going? Why you running from your
You
problem?
just call me a
No.
Where do you think I'm going?
No,
I'm
no,
leaving.
let's talk.
You just call me a in front of my
You talking
friends.
about let's talk and you just call the woman a
In front of my friends.
Your Honor, at the end of
Yes.
the day, some women just can't walk in heels.
I didn't fall coming
Some
into the
women just
restaurant.
can't
That
walk
doesn't
in
make
heels. I
sense.
see it all
And
the
at the end of
time.
the day, some men can't take women walking in heels, and some men can't take women dancing around other men.
And I'm a dancer.
Some men can't take women wearing short clothes and showing her body and being suggestive. And as you say, there's a little insecurity, so it gets you upset. And then at that heat of anger, then you overreacted. And as big as you are, and as small as she is, when you grab her, when she tries to get her loose, there's hardly any way without a tug of war going on. So I think you caused it. Judgment for the plaintiff, defendant paid $985. That's the order of the court.
Thank you so much.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $985.
You're just disrespectful.
Both of them clowns. They deserve
But you
each
lost
other.
the case.
They was having
I think
they was having sex in front of me, eyeball sex in front of me.
Now
so
you're
they
lying.
can continue
That's not
doing
true.
it.
How we
they
have
don't have
sex
to do
in
it
front
now.
of
They
you?
don't
All
have
right,
to
all
do
right.
it.
Let's
Oh, wow.
respect the courtroom.
He's very
all right?
insecure.
Coming up,
End of that, I come back and I want to see my album. I mean, it's like the Mona Lisa. It is literally that big of a piece of rock and roll history. It truly is.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
In the matter of Edward Williams versus Sharon Rogers, Mr. Williams, you're suing her for $500, claiming that she sold a rare rock album.
That is correct, ma'am.
Without your permission. This was from a yard sale, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And your defense is he didn't tell me I couldn't sell it.
He was
Right.
not clear. Not.
Okay. So let's hear it from you, Mr. Williams. Why does she owe you for this album? $500.
Well, it started off with we were having a neighborhood yard sale, and it was a big, giant neighborhood yard sale.
So how was it set up then?
Pretty much everyone had something out in their yard.
That's what I'm trying to. Okay.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
everyone put it out. It wasn't one centralized place.
No, ma'am. No, everyone
Okay.
had something in the yard. My next door neighbor here, we decided since both of our kids are grown and we would probably tackle it together, and four hands make better than two. We did that. We shared a cash box. We had a list, of all the items, and we kept tally. So at the end of the day, that we could divvy it up. The day was wonderful.
What about the prices for the things that you were selling? Did you put prices on anything?
No prices on anything, but next to the items, we had written down what we were asking.
Okay, but when you had it next to the item, was so the person who was about to purchase could see the price that you were asking
No,
for?
ma'am. They would just basically come up and say, "Hey, how much for this lampshade?" And we would say, "Oh, look it up," and say, "Oh, it's
But
this
on your
much."
sheet, you had put down a price of what
Yes,
you
ma'am.
would like to get for it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go on.
Miss Rogers, I had asked her if it was cool that I did a lap around our neighborhood, just kind of to look at the different items. And I was several houses down the street, and there was a family selling antique items, and that's right up my alley. So I went up there, and in his driveway, there was a crate of vinyl albums. And as I'm thumbing through these albums, I couldn't believe what I saw.
Coming up,
It sells for $500.
And we
but
really don't know if it's worth
I know. I mean, how do you know that that one that you had in your hand
Yes,
was
ma'am.
$500?
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Edward Williams, who is suing Sharon Rogers for property loss.
I was like the golden ticket in chocolate. It was the Beatles' 1967 copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I was floored when I saw it. I pulled it out of the sleeve. It was in pristine condition. And I asked the gentleman how much he was selling it for. He said $5. So, of course I'm buying this. I mean, it's not one of these new remastered ones now, Your Honor. It's something from '67. I'm looking at it, it's printed '67. I take it home. I'm very, very excited. I jam home, see Mrs. Rogers. I give it to her and I say, can you keep an eye on this? I just paid $5 for it. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll be back. I'm going to go and see what else I can find. And so she says, sure, I'm going to keep an eye on it. And I went down the street to look at other stuff. And to be honest with you, I was gone maybe 45 minutes and nothing really caught my eye. End of that, I come back and I want to see my album. I mean, it is like it's like the Mona Lisa. It is literally that big of a piece of rock and roll history. It truly is. So I'm now looking for it at our garage sale. I'm looking for it. I'm about to start flipping tables because I cannot find it. And Miss Rogers comes around and she says, oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe it. Gentleman showed up and he gave me $100 for it.
So she sold it?
She sold it. And I said, you're not serious, you're joking, right? And she said, well, he offered me $100, you made $95 on it. So I was so irate that I literally I took the money that was mine out of the cash box. I cleaned up all of my stuff that was in our yards, put it in my garage.
You took your marbles and went home?
I was done. And I haven't talked to her really since, besides to say, you owe me $500.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
How does she owe you $500?
On eBay, it sells for $500. That exact same album.
And we really don't know if it's worth $500.
I know. I mean, how do you know that one that you had in your hand was $500?
Well,
how do you know it wasn't scratched? How do you know you didn't play it?
I did not play it, but I really did take a good look at it. And I own over 1,000 albums. I'm a big.
So why didn't you put it away?
Well,
That's
I mean,
what I was
Why did you
thinking.
put it back on the table?
why did I gave it to her because I was.
Why?
I didn't think that she would do that. Everything that we had listed.
Here we go. I didn't think she would do that. You had thought, and you knew what you wanted to do with the album.
Yes, ma'am.
So she didn't have to do any thinking. All you had to do was tell her, don't sell this. Let me say what you didn't think. I didn't think he would mind me selling it. I thought he would be proud of the fact that I sold it for $100 versus $5. I thought that he would be happy. Weren't those your thoughts?
Exactly my thoughts.
You can't require other people to think for you. You knew what you wanted to do with that. You should have made it clear to her what you wanted to do. Because when you all set up that table that morning, the only thing clear to her was everything on this table, we get the best price we can get for it, we're selling it. And that's what she did. Tell her thank you.
I can't do
thank
that.
you.
Tell me thank you.
I can't do that.
Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I feel that the judge made a very good call. It was a fair ruling. And you
you
should
would.
thank me. I'd like for you to thank me now.
Of course you would, but I'm not going to.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.